Hey guys, Trey here from AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're taking a look at these black factory-style fender flares for the front and rear of the 2009 to 2014 F-150 style side, but not including the Raptor. These are perfect if you're looking to give your truck a tougher, more aggressive look while adding a little bit of protection. These might be good for anyone looking to add some protection around their wheel well or to cover up some paint bubbling or rust spots without anything too flashy. These are designed to contour perfectly with the body of your truck and not stick out too far, giving you function with just a little bit of added extra style. The matte black finish keeps them low profile and easily pairs with any F-150 color. Built from durable ABS plastic, these flares are designed to handle daily driving, rough weather, and even off-road use without cracking or fading. ABS plastic is strong and impact resistant, making it a great material for fender flares, especially if you're taking your truck on rough terrain. They're also lightweight and low profile, so they won't add any unnecessary bulk or weight to the vehicle. These fender flares give you an affordable price point for the set of all four, coming in the low $200 range. Compared to more costly aftermarket upgrades, these flares give you solid quality and a clean look without breaking the bank. The installation is rated a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty scale and should take you about 1 hour to install all four. You will need to do some drilling for those mounting points, so let's check out an install video from one of our AmericanTrucks.com customers and see exactly how these are going to go on your F-150.
The tools you'll need for this job is a microfiber cloth or some kind of clean rag, drill with a 1/4 inch drill bit, hammer, various panel clip removers, ratchet, flathead screwdriver, 10mm socket, 7mm socket, and a 5.5mm socket, as well as a various extensions and a swivel. And if you want, you can use a impact or drill with an adapter for sockets. So the first thing you're gonna want to do, if you have mud flaps on your truck, you're gonna pull those off. In this case, these are factory ones right from Ford. So we're gonna pull these 2 bolts here, and then there's also a plastic clip underneath here that we'll pull out. Now it's a little hard to get back to this one with an impact, so we'll just go and use a old school ratchet. Now that clip is right here. So we're going to use a clip removal tool or panel tool to get in there and remove that. They can be a little tricky. There we go. Pop that right off. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is clean anything that's going to be covered by those flares. So I'm going to start with this down here, just because it's the dirtiest. Now I'm just using the microfiber towel, get that nice and clean. We're going to go all the way around. Another thing you're going to have to do is there is these bolts here that hold the body panel to the inner wheel well. We got to remove these for later on when we install the clips. There is 3 of them, one in the back, one in the front, as well as one up here in the middle. Now as you can see in my case, I'm missing one there. I'll come back later on and install a new one. Next thing you're going to do is grab your flare, test fit it, make sure everything sits nice. Then on the back side there's 3M tape. You're going to pull the plastic off each one of these pieces. That's what's going to help hold that flare on the fender. make sure you line it up good before you stick it on. And just go around. Give it a good press. Make sure everything lines up nice. Next thing is these L clips, like this. These are what go on where the bolts that you took out of the inner wheel well. Those will clip into the fender flare there. So you just want to kind of wiggle it in place here. That tab should click, or at least you should be able to see it snap into place. So we're gonna go around and then install the other 2 L clips. You're gonna want to reattach the bolts you took out of the inner fender well. Just like that. Now, after those 3, there is a U-style clip like this, and that has those. They go in a couple different spots. One of the spots being right here, and they snap on just like the L clips. The only difference is you're trying to also snap it on and clip it into the steel here. Now you might be able to get it by hand. Otherwise, if you can't, taking a screwdriver and just helping lift that flap up is gonna save you some time. So we'll do that one. There's also one over on this side, right here. Put that one into place. Now it can be a little finicky to get in there, but enough messing around to be able to get it. There's that one. Put that in. These L clips are in, and then if you remember, that plastic clip came out of here. We're replacing it with a new one with this kind of style. So we'll pop that into place and then put the screw inside of it, tighten that up, and be the last thing to secure this fender flare onto the truck. There is actually no plastic clip like this in the front fender flares, just for editing purposes, just letting you know. There is one final U-clip right here. This one might be a little bit trickier yet because of the plastic piece down here. You need to snap it over the top of the back side of that and onto here. You can spread it out a little bit, open the mouth up to it. Again, just a hammer just to kind of help get it into place a little bit, or a screwdriver to double check all the clips. Now don't forget about the mud flaps. In my case, I won't be putting them back on, so I'm going to be leaving them off. But if you want to put them back on, go ahead. All right, so now we're on the back side. It's a little bit different up here, but not or back here, but not too bad. As you can see in my case, I got some rust up here. I'll be fixing that later on, but for now we're just gonna get these fender flares installed and go from there. To start, it's much like the front. We're gonna start by taking the bolts out of the mud flap, as well as the back here. There is also a bolt, not a plastic clip. So we'll take all that out. The bolt under here is a 10mm socket. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take that out. once again, we are going to clean up the area that the fender flare will be covering. In this case, there is no bolts up here like the front, so we'll test fit the piece and go from there. There is a 10mm bolt that needs to be taken out of this side of the fender as well, so we'll pull that out. Make sure you're putting the right one on the rear. They do look similar, but they do not fit the same way. They're not interchangeable. So in this case, this is the one that fits on the driver's side. So we'll go ahead and we should peel the tape off of this one as well. I'm not going to do that in my case, just because I'm going to be coming back to fix this rust after the fact and take care of that so it doesn't spread any further. So I'm going to leave the tape on mine, but yours, go ahead, take it off and stick it on just like the other thing. So we'll be taking the U-clips on here once again and find the tabs and snap them into place. Right there you heard the snap, so that's always a good sign. You know it's locked in. And there are two more on this side. So again, you can spread them out, give them a little more room for the jaws. There you go. A little more work on that one, but it fits. The one thing I noticed on mine is these bolts that you take out of the bottom down here, and then also on the front of this fender. There is no hole in the bottom of the fender flares. Those bolts are for your supports here. Obviously that's not something you want to not re-bolt back on. So we are going to go ahead and drill some holes through the fender flare, pop that bolt back in, secure that bracket. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move that brace out of the way, taking a 5/16 drill bit. All I'm doing is sticking that in the hole that's already in there in the fender down below, and just drilling a hole through the plastic. That's it. I'm not drilling into any steel, just a new fender flare. So now I'll stick that bolt up. The hole's right there. Stick that back through and get this pushed back into place. And get that all lined back up and reattached. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing with the front side of this back fender flare. Drilling the plastic there. Let's stick the bolt back up into place. Line that up with the other hole. And get that pushed into the clip. Tighten that up. And good to go. For that, back fender flare is fully installed and ready to go. Now we'll go to the other side and do the exact same thing.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for our review and install of the black factory style fender flares for the front and rear of your 2009 to 2014 F-150 with the style side, excluding those Raptor editions. And for all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.